Hi guys, my name is Mark, this is my YouTube channel, and today we will build a very competitive 5800X 3D system. Let's go! For those of you who are asking, who's this guy? Basically, I'm a streamer, I'm a YouTuber, and I'm a tech enthusiast, and I'm very deeply and mainly into high-end, low latency builds, and this video will start off a series of 3 videos which are basically meant to be to show you guys the possibilities of the new 5800X 3D by AMD to may encounter the best setup possible for the lowest latency and the highest FPS. For this we ensured that we get the best quality of products and the most matching products in my eyes. I basically already uploaded a low latency guide, I started the low latency guide with a bias video on my old system, which is capable of doing end-to-end latency in games below 4 milliseconds. I've done this with a 4950X, all-core overclocking, and with some special treatment. And basically I try to be better, to have lower latency, more stable FPS, higher average FPS with this build. So you ask yourself, why? Because as you may know, this here is the 5800X 3D, and for today there came like a new BIOS version which is capable of overclock this CPU with the pure block clock up to 4.8 gigahertz. This CPU is very good in terms of low power consumption and high FPS because of a new technology which is called 3D stack. The 3D stack is basically on the same place like the second CCD would be when you, for example, buy a 5900 or 5950X. But instead of a second CCD, so another chiplet, they just decided to make a stacked 3D cache, which is basically 96 megabytes big, which will help you to push those data very fast by a high clock, by a high rate through it to have a better throughput, and I also think a better latency whilst it comes to gaming, also with a lower power consumption. Some benchmarks prove this already, and we will try to prove it here too. For that, we just start off with this video where I just briefly explain you the stuff we'll do with the components we have already bought and we are also buying in the next few days, to have a second video which will be a brief overview or a time elapsed video about the complete build. The build will be completely custom water cooled. I will do the complete build myself. Maybe I get some help from my YouTube man, from my cameraman in the meantime, and all the custom water cool stuff is coming from a German company called Watercool. There are some very friendly people in the company which I already called 2 times and talked about the project, and they helped me with getting the right equipment for this project. So I have the right pump, the radiator I bought already. It's here. It's a Mora 460, Mora 460, 480, 420. Oh, 420, but was some days ago 420, guys. So it's a Mora 420 in stainless steel, which will be fitted or equipped with 18 of these chromas from Noctua, and that's basically the main radiator, which will be settled down externally, not into the case. And the case is the Linear Lead case, the Odyssey X. And the rest of the build is basically also very top notch. We're using always the Samsung 980 Pro 2 terabyte version. We use a very, very high-end mainboard by Asus. This is the Corsair Extreme. I have it here since a very long time, but I never touched it because I didn't want to rip off my main system, and I also waited for newer versions or better steppings of CPU, which would be worth to build a complete new system. But I think now it's the time. Here it is. I have it like 3 months, 4 months. I have it since a lot of months already laying around, and now we will use it for this system. The other parts we did not buy so far are like the USB, for example, the RAM. So we basically will put on 3 different RAM, working access memory, so random access memory. On this mainboard we have like those CL14 3800s. We will try CL14 or CL12 4000, and I think we will try a 3600 kit with 12 or 14 CL and compare them, because it meant to be, or people are saying or setting out that it's nearly, or the setup, basically the CPU don't care which RAM you're using, because people with shitty RAM have nearly the same FPS like people with high-end RAM, and I want to check this if it's really true. And also I want to check if this is or this is congruent with the latency. So is the latency higher with bad RAM, and is it better with good RAM, like always? Or is it like no one cares, you just buy 80 euro RAM and put it in and it's easy? And also I want to see if it's worth for the next like 2 or 3 months to buy this CPU with any setup. And for this we also have like the 3090 Ti for the Win Ultra from EVGA, which I'm using right now on my system over there. And we also will customize or custom water cool it, because it will be the fixed card for the system, and it will stay in the system. And I just want to try to basically reach a new high FPS or average FPS record in a CSGO benchmark. For this, 0 FPS, a very well-known German tweaker for Windows and Steam, and in general for all the software tweaking, will come to us in the surf video, where we are basically about to setting up the Kirby OS, the BIOS, maybe tweak at the end, but we will there in the video bench everything, test everything out, we'll conclude different settings, setups, and we also will show the stock version of the OS we are using and the basically optimized version by 0 FPS, to just check how big the difference is between a non-optimized and the optimized setup, just in terms of Windows, without any overclocking. And after this, after we saw the gain in FPS and the, I hope, better latencies, we will try to tweak a little bit more just by overclocking the hardware, and just to reach the absolute limit, the maximum, without the loss of any comfort, without having like blue screens or whatever. So that's basically what it's about. This video is nearly at the end, and you already heard what we are planning and which gear we are using. The next one, as I explained already, will be the build video, and the last one is basically the setup and the benchmarking. So for now, I'm finished with this video, and will say thank you that you've been here so long for those like 6 or 8 minutes from now, and I hope I see you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.